I was just in East Chicago, Indiana, which the media is not covering that either. A lead crisis. Poor African Americans are being forcefully evicted from their homes next week, being sent to dangerous areas in Chicago against their will. Well, one woman said to me over the weekend, "What do I got to do, bleach my skin? Go rob a couple $1 million to get a little help?" I'm sure some people here feel that way. And by the way, it's not just the black thing. There's a lot of poor white folk here. There's a lot of white folk who used to be middle class, but because the government basically sold all their jobs offshore. Flint was once the industrial hub. General Motors was born here. And then, through fair trade, they sold their jobs. And poverty raced in. The de-investment here isn't only in the pipes, it's in the people. It takes you 10, 15 minutes to drive around. And if I had a little wish list between the streets needing pavement, the storefronts needing improvement, you could literally drive in one area and it's pretty nice, and you go a block or two over, it looks like a third world country. So why is it that a place like Ann Arbor is proactively, not reactively, changing their pipes, but we're going on 3 years after they switched the water? Which brings me to Governor Snyder, because I think in America, it's like the corporate media, it's like, oh my God, they couldn't have intended to do this. They couldn't have, it was just a mistake, an error. You know, the people that are supposed to actually be very cynical of the powerful are actually in bed with the powerful for breaking news, and you don't want to piss off your sources and all this stuff. And there's some decent local news people in this area that have done great work. I think Charlie LaDuff, don't know where you are now, has done good stuff. Some other ones, I think, kind of just reissue press releases. Speaking of, I asked Mayor Karen Weaver here too, never heard back. But I wanted to get to it because I don't think you could just move on from Schneider's role here, because he's still governor. The $100 million that was granted through Congress last year, it was $170 million initially. Somehow the $70 million, it's now $100 million, so where did that $70 million go? The people controlling that are the same people that caused the problem. Laura, give the mic to Laura right here. Could you stand up, Laura?
Sure.
You mentioned to me, you made an analogy that this would be like...
Oh, it would be like giving money to your rapist to have, services provided to recover from being raped. So, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm a rape survivor myself, and this is exactly what I feel like. I feel like I'm being victimized by the very person who caused the problem in the first place. And there's absolutely no way that we're going to trust him to take care of this.
If you don't know, Governor Snyder has fought tooth or nail to end the tax water credits for the poisoned water. So they gave tax credits, how nice of them, for the water bill. He fought tooth and nail and wants to end that. Also, he fought tooth and nail. He was ordered by a judge, separate lawsuit than the one discussed earlier. He was ordered by a judge, him and the city of Flint, to deliver water home to home. There's about 18% of people here who don't even own cars. He appealed it, because why should I deliver water home to home to these people I poisoned? He lost on appeal. That was in December of last year. Hasn't delivered water, and in this settlement, that's not, the settlement that we talked about in the beginning of this, that's not included. And real quick, talking about problems, your children have had issues. Can you talk about how this has affected you?
Well, we've had nosebleeds, rashes, hair loss, hair thinning, And we're more concerned not about the lead, as everyone has mentioned, but Scott Smith, who's tested our house a couple of times, says we have some of the highest levels of chloroform in our house. At this point, we just noticed the other day that we had something crawling out of the drains. So we're pouring bleach into the drains, and there's worms and flies that are coming out of it. We've got some orange kind of fungal thing that's constantly growing on the walls of our shower that it just won't go away. I mean, it just pops up overnight. You get like some mushroom growth. I mean, it's very, very frightening to see what's happening.
And we've talked before, but how much would you estimate you've spent out of pocket? Water bottles and all the things.
It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, we've had appliances. Every appliance that the water has touched has broken, and in fact, we've gone through 3 washing machines already. Everything, and my house, it's a walk away at this point. It's going to cost more to replace the pipes than the house is actually worth. We have pipes that are disintegrating in the walls. You can just see water streaming down in the wall. You've been there. You've seen it. It's our house is destroyed. It's our home, and we're just going to have to walk away from it at some point. There's no fixing it. There's no turning back.
And I'm assuming you don't have buyers around the block for it.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.